So you know what I figured out? You have to crawl before you walk. And you have to walk before you run. Now that may seem like a pretty simple concept to most because we all learn to crawl before we walk. We learn to walk before we crawl. We teach our children how to crawl and then how to walk and then how to run. But I'm gonna tell you why I thought about this, um, about it, about it now because, as you know, my name is Shelly. I'm breaking out of my shell again, and I'm. If you've been watching any of my other videos, you know that I am um, on this debt-free journey, and I'm following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps programs. It's the 7 baby steps, right? And so when you think about baby steps, I think it was great to name it baby steps because you take one step at a time, like babies often do when they're first learning. They start to take one step and they'll, put one foot in the front and one foot, and they'll keep going. We know how that goes, right? But what I thought about in this instance in saying that you have to crawl before you walk, relating it to getting out of debt, his baby steps relating it to getting out of debt, relating the crawl before you walk or take a step makes sense to me because I wanted to just jump in and get started and be on this debt free journey and be successful, right? And I started working on baby step one, which was getting the $1,000 emergency fund. But what I found was um, I also needed to get my income up in order to even be able to be successful in getting the emergency fund and then starting to pay off debt. And paying off debt is never, and having a budget and all those things, those aren't things that I've been used to in my lifetime. Like I told you, I grew up on welfare. There, I wasn't taught how to budget. Um, when I got out on my own and became independent, I got a job. I was on and off welfare, and I was just taught how to go to work to make money to pay your bills, right? And it wasn't about budgeting, it was about surviving. And so I never learned, anything about finance or anything of that nature. So that was new to me. And so when I say you have to crawl before you walk in this instant, in my case, learning that new thing of budgeting, trying to jump right into it has been difficult. I got the Every Dollar app, and I'm trying to plug all my things into the Every Dollar app, my income, my monthly expenses to live, my four walls, the car, the house, the food, and car insurance. So I'm trying to plug that in, and then I'm trying to, tally up how much my debt is and plug that in, and um, I'm trying to balance income and different things of that nature. And it all got to be so overwhelming to me to try it. And I haven't successfully created a budget yet. And one of the reasons is because I don't have a really um, set set income. Um, I, I told you guys in my video I do Walmart, Spark Delivery. I do caregiving. I'm starting a mobile notary business. So my income isn't steady yet, and so last month I lost a part of the income that I had, And so it kind of kicked me back, um, because I was in the process of putting together my emergency fund. But then when I lost the income with my caregiver, my private duty client that I had, that knocked like $1,200 out of my income. And so now I'm trying to find ways in which I can replace that. But in addition to that, not only replace that, you know, I was also trying to increase and go above that, so that I had the private duty care, which was bringing in the $1,200, and I was doing Walmart. I am doing Walmart or Spark deliveries, which you know gives me anywhere between 15 to 2,000 a month, and um, you know slowly building my mobile notary business. So I'm really trying to get that income up so that I can go hard. I can get the $1,000 saved, and I can get um, I can start on baby step 2, which is actually paying off the debt. But again, um, it I got knocked back down. So I just think of myself. I put it in this respect that crawling before walking. You know how the baby's crawling, and they're doing really well at crawling, and then they want to walk, so they start to pull up on things and stand a little bit, and they do a little bit of a wobble, and then they take a step, and then they fall down, and then you kind of cheer them on, and you're like, come on, try it again, and you help them back up on their feet, or they pull up on something else, and they try it again, and they fall. And that's the situation I kind of find myself in when I'm trying to get myself established to be able to get out of debt. It's like, okay, I'm I'm crawling, so to speak, trying to get this income up. I'm crawling, and then I get it up a little bit, and I pull myself up a little bit, and then I'm a little wobbly because the income is kind of coming in a little slow, and then I lost income, so I kind of fell back, and I'm pulling myself up again. I'm looking for more employment. So it's that kind of thing, crawling before you walk, and then eventually, when you pull yourself up and you start to take those few steps, and you start to get motivated, and things are going really good for you, and you step away like the baby, the baby is stepping, and they're taking 4 or 5 steps, and boom, they fall again. They kind of, but they're inspired because they know that they can do it. They know that, this is something that they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be on their 2 feet, and they're not supposed to be on their knees, and they can get where they're going faster if they're on their 2 feet, and they can reach more things if they're standing up than if they're falling down. So, it was just something that was on my mind that I was thinking about, kind of making that analogy, that comparison, if you will, that illustration, if you will. And I have to keep that in the back of my mind that, yeah, I'm crawling to this destination, and I'm getting up, and I'm pulling myself up each time that I increase my income. And so that's what I'm doing. I've got a couple of, I've got an interview I know tomorrow um, to go to work, to add more to my income. So um, I had to stop the emergency fund, because then I needed the money to, catch up on my car note once I lost that part of my income. So I have to put that into my 4 walls. So it's disappointing, that I haven't been able to even secure baby step 1, which is saving $1,000 emergency fund as of yet. But I'm pulling up, I'm pulling up, and I'm trying to stand on my feet. And eventually get that momentum where, I'm taking a couple of steps and I'm taking a couple of steps. And once I get to baby step 2 and the income is stable and the $1,000 emergency fund is all tucked away, then I can start to use the income that I'm receiving to go aggressively at paying off debt, and that's where the babies, they start to run. They're no longer walking; they start to run. So that's my my analogy of where I am today, and I had to look at it that way because I was starting to get disappointed. But babies never get disappointed when they fall back down. They might cry a little bit or whine a little bit, but then they get right back up on their feet and they try it again. And they're pulling up on something else until they just take off. So I hope this helps someone. Like and subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you so much for following me and encouraging me. You guys have a great day. And if you're crawling, you'll be walking soon, and soon you'll be running.